Okay, let's get started. Did a lot of cleaning up yesterday. I'm just stubbornly doing a lot of stuff today. But my heart's not going to be in it like it was yesterday. I mean, like it usually is. I have a feeling this is going to become the next squatter house. Boy, that didn't take long. So he must have told him you got. Well, now that I see a for sale sign, that I can tell all the business that happened there. That house, what happened was the son been in and out of trouble with the law. He's addicted to drugs. He's basically crazy. And he took, and I don't know what was going on between him and his dad, but he basically set his dad's house on fire. Fire department had to come out here, had the whole street shut down while they were sitting there trying to get that under control. So the next thing you know, the police were looking for him, put him in jail, the son, of course. And in the midst of all that going on, we had squatters go in there and started rooting out the place, taking what they could. I had books and a bicycle and all this other stuff sitting on our sidewalk in our street. And it's just little crazy things like that happen in this neighborhood. I don't know if the city came in there or somebody came in there and boarded it up. It looks like they're moving quite fast on it, because that's starting to look like a nuisance abatement situation. And so now I see that for sale sign, which means that somebody told them, look, you need to cut your losses and get on out. What I'm wondering is what they're going to put there next. Is it going to be another McMansion? It's going to be another McMansion. I don't even have to ask that question. But it's not going to fit in right in this neighborhood. That's what that is. Okay. It's a wireless access point. Feels like my wheel is dragging. My luck, it'll probably just finally come off. I'll be up Schitt's Creek when that happens. Suddenly this cart feels very heavy. I don't... Maybe I picked up something. Oh yes, I did. It's all that grass. Just might let some guy would come running by here. I guess I shouldn't complain. I'm glad that people are using the sidewalks, but not nearly enough. Sorry, there's too much road noise here. But just talking to Alex just now, I shouldn't get too down about it. Like I said, he even said it himself. I can talk about systems of government, I can talk about communism, capitalism, anarchy, libertarianism. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is, how do you think you relate to the people in your community? That's why it goes above politics. What it's really about is, are you here to help yourself, or are you here to help us all? And so that becomes the constant struggle. It's, you're fighting nature and environmental issues, but at the same time you have to fight people. So I listen to Afro Man while doing this. But anyway, while you're doing all of that, fighting people, let me turn this down. This is too good. Afro Man. Anyway, fighting people. And I don't know what the story is. Do you feel inadequate? Are you just greedy? Are you lazy? At one point, did you believe in people, and then after a while you just got pissed off and you stopped? And that's the problem you run into with the people that have been given power. What made them this way? But you don't have time to figure all that out. You've got fires and environmental disasters. And structural issues to deal with. Like the true like the hardened, or what do you want to say, the professional criminals, or the criminals in general. That's one thing. But it gets kind of sad when you can't tell the difference between the people who fight the wrong and the people who are wrong. The reason I bring this up is because after talking to Alex, I had a kind of an existential crossroad or thought pop in my head. Why am I doing this? And everybody tells you the same generic answer. I wanted to do this, blank, 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 made the community better, blah, blah, blah. And I guess I come out of here and I do all this stuff because it's driving me crazy not to do anything at all. It makes me feel like at least I'm doing something. This is therapy. I got to the point where I turned a blind eye to it. I think I said all this before. I turned a blind eye to it for a long time, and the problem just got worse and worse. And so do I think I'm going to clean up this neighborhood and make things a better place? No. I'm not that egotistical or naive to believe all of that. What I believe is I got to do something. So this is me doing something. And eventually I'll have to do something else. And eventually I'll have to step on some toes. And eventually I'll become a target if I'm kind of getting to be a target now. All of this so that someday I might be able to ride a bike safely down the streets of Dallas. That's how this started. That's my selfish goal. That's the thing I pursue doggedly, and just have blinders on for everything else. I just think it would be kind of cool if one day I could ride a bike. Boy, they're really cleaning this up. Yesterday I'm putting in tickets with 311 app, and it takes me like 2 hours. It takes me 2 hours not because I got a lot to say, mostly. About 30 minutes of that was the 311 website just taking forever to upload photos and then move on to the next page. I don't think the 311 app was designed. Sometimes I think it was designed to do the bare minimum. And so it runs with the bare minimum. There are times I can get on that app. I can get on the app, or I can get on the website, and I can upload pictures and I can put stuff in there and it takes 30 seconds. And then there's other times when it's painful. Taking a picture, uploading just one picture, trying to put the details in. And meanwhile, all around me, some guy's mean mugging me, looking at me, wondering what the hell I'm doing. And then you spend like about an hour on a ticket, getting all your stuff together, making sure the address is correct. Crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's. You send it in, and then a day later you get a call from one of the agencies saying, yeah, we couldn't find what we were talking about, so we're going to close your ticket. Or they don't even call you, they just close the ticket. That's what pisses me off. That's what makes me realize that's why nobody does anything. Every time, and the city, I don't know if they know or care about that, but every time they do that, you give people pause, and you might lose somebody who can help you out. So in the meantime, I engage in this pointless exercise. Walk around, picking up trash. But you know, the other thing that picking up trash and taking the neighborhood slowly does? It allows me to see what's going on. And I guess as I record this and I post it, the people in this neighborhood and the people outside of this neighborhood who might be thinking about moving into Dallas, you see what's going on in this neighborhood. That's kind of the purpose this serves also. You're the guy who can't come to the, like, you see the listing on Zillow, you don't have time to come down here and Makes it a hell of a place to stop, right? Can't help it. That's how it is. This is all a myth too, huh? I'm worried about the sea turtle or something getting this in their neck. In the meantime, it's just going to wind up in my testicles, or my endocrine system, or my gut. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you can't come down here and check the neighborhood at night to see where you're moving into or where you potentially could be moving into. I guess I'm helping out those people as well. You're getting to see this neighborhood outside of the hours when the Zillow or the real estate agent doesn't want you to. You get to find out, okay, I don't want to be there. Okay, that looks like it's going to be a little work. Then again, maybe there's some people that are like Frank Castle types. They look at this and they say, oh, I love a challenge. I'm going to set up my headquarters here and I'm going to clean up the city. We don't have those guys. Like, those guys only exist in comic books. I guess that's what sucks, is we don't have any superheroes or vigilantes that bust skulls. But what we have is, one time I'm sitting here walking down the street. Did I get that? Yeah, I got that on camera. No, I didn't post that one. It happened to me last year. Was it last year? No. Whenever I last, no, okay, yeah, it's been 2 years since I ran, huh? Since I lost the ability to run. Yeah, there was some kind of weird domestic dispute. The guy tells me to call the cops. I call the cops. And then I'm asking the neighbor, I said, hey, do you know what's going on with these people? And she says, I don't know anything. I just got off of work. I'm really tired. That's this neighborhood. These people are too tired to know what's going on. It's really dark over here. I mean, it's really dark. I mean, this is like, there's no light in this neighborhood. So I couldn't figure out what kept interfering with. Every time I come around here, my Bluetooth headphones have a disconnect for a second. There's some kind of interference, or maybe some kind of jamming that's going on over here. I think I see now, though, why people leave their neighborhoods after a certain point. Like the guy from Not Just Bikes, I think his name is Jason. I don't know what his last name is. I was like, why didn't he stick it out and fight for those people in Canada? And the truth is, he did. And he got to a point where it was like he just wasn't going to get those people to move. And so he went to the Netherlands. Maybe it's more complicated than that, but that's the gist of what I'm getting from what I pieced together from watching his channel. The lady that helped me out when I was I had a cat colony, about 13 cats, and feral friends helped me out through that. And the lady that was close by me, or the representative over here, she must have just looked at this place and said, you know, I can't work with this. I don't know what the whole situation is, but the bottom line is she just stick around. People live in this neighborhood. People with means and sense live in this neighborhood for a little bit, and then they leave. That may happen to me someday. Although something worse might happen to me someday. Has it always been this bad? It started getting bad right here, right around 1990. One of my childhood friends down the street from me, his neighbors, you know what, now that I think about it, yeah, this, right around the 90s it got bad. Right around the 90s. That's about the time that all the people that gave my parents a hard time when we first moved in, they were dying off for moving out. Before that, it was a quiet jet setter neighborhood full of professionals. And then gradually it was just broken people started moving in. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, in the 90s, a childhood friend was sitting in his house, and all of a sudden the next door neighbors got into some kind of disagreement and were trading shotgun fire. And some of the shotgun slugs or shot peppered the siding of his mom's house. And that should have been the wake-up call right then and there. So that's the guard light over there, and then there's the guard light up here. Basically, whoever was at this, somebody at this location asked for this, and they installed it. And it's got wires dangling, which means that there's no electricity to this, and it's just wires hanging. So I'm supposed to call this in. City of Dallas is supposed to get somebody like Encore to come in and just kind of clean that up. Are they going to do it? That's where the fight begins. Basically, for me, that's about 2 or 3 weeks worth of work. I put it in, they'll say they can't find it, close it. I'll reopen another ticket. Alright, so I'm taking these pictures to get an idea of what's... Yeah. It's a utility complaint. when I do this, it feels like I'm engaging in archaeology. Like this right here is a cigar wrapper. The signs of a person who just basically gave up. That's the other reason I do this, is to tell myself I haven't completely given up. There might be a leak underneath there. I don't know where the pipe is, but there's a gas line right there. Something to watch out for. Won't that be fun if that is what I think it is? That's right, you gotta pick up. I used to think that the organic trash will eventually just rot away, but no, it just puts bad bacteria into the environment. Another example of this neighborhood having scars is you look over there. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. There's a telephone pole that's just leaning over there. It's tied to a telephone pole that isn't. And it's the remnants of when that storm hit. Scars from the tornado. I don't know why they don't just remove the pole, but it's there leaning, looking weird. It's an accident waiting to happen. It's a tragedy, sure. And it's something that I'm sure multiple people have reported. I'm not sure of that. Put that statement back in my mouth. I'm not sure of that at all. Some of the stuff I already heard, so. How long do you think that bar is going to last here? If we're lucky, we'll get a decade out of them. You know, I never go into places like that, but it sounds like the kind of place that someone will tell me, hey, we're going to have a meeting here. Hey, we're going to have a get together over at Jake's. And I'll be like, where's Jake's? And that's my flaw, one of my many flaws. Because I'm probably not going to get out there and socialize a lot. That's really how how you get more people on your side is you just hang out. Oh, like I said, when I pause for a second, there's just things I see. Oh, glass bottle. I was not expecting that. I just thought I'd help this guy out a little bit. I imagine that's pretty rough living here. Part of me thinks that people are just randomly throwing this stuff in here, but maybe this guy is part of it. For some strange reason, I think it might be this bush too. I've already called it in. Holy shit, that's what they were talking about. This is what Alex and his crew was talking about. So I found bullet casings. The other day. I didn't think anything of it. I don't have their vision yet. So yeah, somebody shot this sign. And so what they were telling me was that they reported this, and what was supposed to happen was DPD was supposed to, DPD talking like them, Dallas police were supposed to write a report and find out what the hell happened with that. And they just closed the ticket out because they didn't want to sit there and fool with the paperwork and do the investigation. And so that, like that, stuff like that right there, that's a sign you're in a bad neighborhood. I know what you're thinking. It's like, well, bullet holes, you know, it's like, but it's a sign that you don't have police presence and they don't really care. Maybe somebody called that in, maybe they didn't, I don't know. Oh, it's dark over here. Or is it just, no, it's just dark. Anyway. Like I said, I keep my head down because I'm picking up trash and all I care about is the condition of the sidewalk. I never noticed any of the other stuff. Sign that that's a sign that that's a tripping hazard. My cart is the canary in the coal mine. So this is the well done, well done. That was the ticket for the fixing that. When I picked up those casings the other day, I disturbed the crime scene. But yeah, if it happens again, I now know better. Is that always? That's new. You know, since I started doing this, I haven't really been able to sit and listen to and enjoy music. I was thinking about that retaining wall and how it's split and leaning like that. This is the guy named Terror. Put graffiti tags on there. Is there graffiti on the side? No. Leave it alone. Guy can't start his car? I don't know. So I guess my question is now, who do you back for the new city council position? And the answer is nobody at this point. I'm starting to do more research, and I'm starting to realize that the one horse that I thought I was going to back in this whole race has some, they got a bad past. I don't mean like they were criminals. I mean like, well, I don't mean like they were the kind of criminals you think of, but they're basically involved in bureaucratic criminality. Two candidates that are more the same, and three candidates I knew absolutely nothing about. One of the guys, all it listed is his occupation, paint photographer. I remember the last time I voted in the city council elections, there was this one lady. She had all the bona fide, like she was what you want. She had a degree in city planning. She had worked in community organization and activism and stuff like that. She was a doctor. I mean, she's super smart. And I was like, okay, I'll vote for that candidate. Didn't even place like fourth, I think, in the whole five person race. The people in this neighborhood vote for the boondoggle. Hell, I almost fell for it. But then you got to ask yourself the question, why would I vote for the same people? As I'm cleaning up for the year here, I'm sorry, why would I vote for the people that let all of this happen? Remember what I said, that this neighborhood seems like it went downhill after the 1990s. So if you've got anybody who was around, if you got any of these politicians that were around all of this then, anytime from 90 to now, why would you vote for the people that let the neighborhood come to this? And if that's your guy, then I guess your choice is clear. I feel a bit discouraged. It's not like I started the day feeling great. Like, this is the kind of stuff that irritates me. Somebody had a cone here, somebody was doing construction over here, and they just let construction trash. recycled plastic. Yeah, this is going to wind up in the thing no matter what. I'm just picking up what I can. This is the first hour. I think the mode I need to be in is you do what you can. Yeah, I know. Said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. I get to that where it's like, don't bother, and I was like, bother. The fact that I'm doing this is a sign that we don't have a government. But that's what years of certain groups have wanted. See, the government doesn't do anything. And to show you that that's true, we're not going to let it do anything. Self-fulfilling prophecy. My nose runs no matter what. Maybe it's just me taking a break too. I'll start sweeping up this little bitty stuff. It's kind of weird how they changed lanes like that. I don't know if they did it because they saw what I was doing and they said we're going to help you out, or they just did it because they thought I was part of like some kind of city crew and they needed to Like, I didn't put any markers down that said, hey, you need to change lanes. Sometimes think that both sides are trying to reimagine an America that maybe didn't exist, like it doesn't exist like they say or they think that it did. It comes down to errors. You have the Roosevelt Democrats who their guy was their guy lived through a period where community organizations had to get together to take care of the neighborhoods. So those guys say, man, if we ever get in charge, and then they bring up, and so one of their guys got in charge and they brought about the New Deal. And created America that seemed to work, had a dedicated middle class. They had middle class protections, and they believe that's part of the reason why America, you know, prospered. Then you got the other side, the Republicans, the Reagan Republican group, and say if this came down to a bunch of rugged individuals and entrepreneurs, the Howard Hugheses and the Carnegies and all those other guys that built America with unfettered capitalism. Both sides have their heroes and champions. Both sides might have some validity to their argument, and both sides fight each other. Okay, I'm out here too late. What's your take on things? I guess what I'm learning is you can use history to learn from the mistakes of the past and not repeat them. But you can't really use history as a decent predictive tool. Because I can sit here and point out how we went through cycles like this before and we've come out of it before. But every era is different. Right now the biggest problem is trying to control the flow of the information to the point where you're not crippling the ability of civilization to function right. Or I guess I should say function right for everybody. There's some folks that are using all this information and they're getting the system to work exactly the way they want it to. And I'm not quite sure what the end goal is. They're going to make all the money in the world. They're going to become some kind of new aristocracy. But aristocracies don't last. Your kids aren't you. someone more ambitious, someone more capable is going to show up and they're going to dethrone them. So all that work you put in, trying to make sure you had a legacy, it peters out. Like Henry VIII did all of that stuff to try to cement his legacy, and his family died out within basically 150 years. Shingle. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, and the other people that do, the people who do the bad deeds, they don't think at all. People who do bad deeds mostly don't play chess, they play checkers. They're only thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead. They're not thinking 3 or 4 like the Grand Masters. The climate change issue, the short-term thinkers are like, hey, we can like, nothing's wrong right now, so why are we you know, entertaining this? You guys are smart, you'll come up with a solution in the future. Don't put that on us. That's the attitude. It was your fault for giving us plastic and oil and gasoline and internal combustion engines, so you need to fix it. Thought about it, that might be the next form of eco-terrorism. You're gonna get one individual that's pretty smart and resourceful, and what they might do is one of the things that would cause a drop in emissions if the electrical grid failed for a long period of time. Like, no electricity to run pumps, no electricity to allow lights up in the air. That all gets knocked out, everything slows down. So you might start seeing a form of eco-terrorism, or just terrorism in general. I know the FBI does thought experiments. This is nothing new. Someone's going to come out with a small and effective EMP. Oh my God, I just thought about something. Someone's going to put an EMP weapon on a drone, fly it into somewhere, and then just detonate it. Not a matter of if, just a matter of when. But as I said before, bad guys don't think this way. They don't. That's what, when I say we have superheroes, fortunately we don't seem to have supervillains either. I grow quiet because I'm thinking about it. Just the people in charge don't really have time to sit around thinking about how to use science. Unfortunately, Fortunately, it seems like most scientists out there are pretty ethical. Hazardous sidewalk. Oh man. Anyway, I say most scientists because I was thinking about that one guy. He was going to try and do some geoengineering. That's the other thing that might be coming down the pipe, is some unauthorized geoengineering. I was talking about taking iron dust and dumping it in the oceans to see if that would cause a growth of algae that would start sequestering a lot more CO2. That's one side of the plan, but the other part is it might also drain the oceans of oxygen and kill off a lot of aquatic wildlife. I was just thinking about putting a ticket in about that situation where the grass is growing over the whatever that is that's gone. Getting this all cleared out. The city will only do so much, even though this is city property. That's where I get disillusioned. I start thinking, how far is the city of Dallas willing to go to make this right? And all they're going to do is make sure that the weeds don't get high. They're not going to take a shovel to that and scrape that off. Now, maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe I shouldn't ask them to do that. Maybe I should be the one that gets in there with a shovel and just kind of picks through that and makes it look halfway decent. After all, I'm the guy sitting here cleaning up when this is supposed to be the city's job, right? That's the realization I'm coming to. I need a crew. What it also tells me is that, so if you're watching these videos and you're pretty savvy, the bottom line is you can rule this part of the city. We have weak leadership. That's what I'm showcasing when every time you see me picking up this stuff, every time you see me creating tickets, this is a sign of weak leadership. So basically what I've been showcasing, I just now see I'm the one playing checkers when others are playing chess. The bottom line is what I'm saying is, it looks like this part of town is open for business. The weak and incompetent leadership of the council here will not stop you. Now, you can't put it all on the council. It's also, like I said, the people in the neighborhood. Like I was saying yesterday, I I guess I have a community organization. I know I went to a couple of their meetings, and usually what it was is a bunch of old folks went in there and they started griping and complaining at whoever the city sent down there to talk to them. And the city was just putting out feelers trying to figure out how mad the residents were. But that's still weak leadership. You want to use every tool at your disposal to find out what's going on. You don't want to be lazily putting out feelers and that's just assuming because you don't hear anything, everything you can just get away with what you were getting away with. Well, not hoping. The bottom line is, looks like somebody was doing some kind of remodeling, and this stuff flew out of their truck. It doesn't look like it was deliberately dumped. All right, so what we got today? The good news is, this is junk mail. It's not his actual financial information. Some trash probably fell out of a garbage truck or something, and that's why I'm picking this up now. So while I withdraw my earlier statement, we still have weak leadership. I don't know what the requirement is. I don't know if you have to actually live in this neighborhood to be a representative of it. I think we had a whole election where they were saying no, not really. So a developer could run for the city council, get on there, which probably has already happened, and then start building a city that... That's part of the playbook I think that's happening around here, is they're just trying to make this as shitty as possible. Well, they're letting it get shitty so that they can gobble up houses for cheap. And build these McMansions. Well, like I said about the three-dimensional chess, or the three moves ahead, you can do all of that, but then you're building houses in a neighborhood where nobody would want to live in it. Somebody went through here and put more lights in. So they must have a community organization over there, and they've been really really active in making their side work. Side of the street, all you got is one crazy person picking up trash. Because I keep looking down, my nose is running like crazy. Looking at him in that sweater. Also worried about him getting hit. Or her. Well, not aggressive. Still not aggressive. That's sad. Well, not your problem. I'm not allowed to come up with a solution. I guess that's really what it is. It's not that it's not my problem, it's not my solution. I think that's really what it comes down to. Issues I encounter, it's not a matter of it's not my problem, it's not my solution. More leaks. I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes I get into not sometimes, a lot of times, I get into a nihilist streak. Where I think the only solution is to just end it all. And what keeps me from doing that is that I've been taught not to really engage in or to give a lot of weight to absolutist thoughts or theories. Solutions are usually messy. In elementary school, they give you the simple examples because they just want you to learn the basics. But the reality is, 2 + 2 = 4 is rarely going to be the solution that works all the time, most of the time. It's going to be some variation. It's never 2 + 2, it's 2.13 plus 1.77 or 1.87, 1.87, something like that. Sometimes the solution might have an imaginary number, and that really messes you up because, wait a minute, I'm dealing in another dimension that I can't even see. And so you're really lost. The solution isn't even in your coordinate plane. No, I think they're junk cars over here. The apartment complex, and the answer is no. That's why these people pay this rent and security deposits. Because they're supposed to, you know, they use that money to hire staff and to keep the place up. Definitely gonna turn up the volume. I'm not gonna talk, I'm just gonna listen to George Benson's affirmation. I hope that some asshole doesn't come down here and ruin my moment. We'll chip at this a little bit at a time every week. Someday, we'll probably have most of this dirt removed. We'll see. I'll take about 5 pounds of dirt with me every week. At least as long as I'm here and doing this. I'm going to see what happens when you pick up 5 pounds of dirt a week. I'm not going to create a ticket to the city. I don't expect them to do anything about it. I mean, I guess technically I could create a ticket in that. No. I can already see how that's going to go. Might as well get it on record. That's what I'll do. I'll create a ticket. I don't know if it counts as sidewalk obstruction. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. But that's why you put the ticket in. All it does is it adds it to the database that there was somebody who saw it, made the city aware of it. It's a record that the city was, it's the record of the city's in action. In the meantime, I'm going to pick up 5 pounds of dirt every week. They went with blue this time, before they did black. What do you think? Well, now I can't tell if Snoop is a graffiti guy or is he a dealer. That's the fact that that's open again. Oh well. Well, let's go be nosy. One day it might cost me my life. But like I said, I'm partly a nihilist, so I don't seem to mind that aspect of it. Although, like I said, they're idiots, incompetent idiots, so they probably won't kill me. They'll probably just hurt me really badly. Well, at least the canal looks like it's pretty clean. So that's probably why they're going to close out my ticket. Nope, we got it cleaned out. I was like, yeah, technically you did. There's somebody back there with a candle. I'll come back next week when it's a little bit more light. Kind of cleanish over here. That's weird. Let me guess, they paid cash? MasterCard. EPS. Does that mean that it was a debit card food stamp? Well, that says MasterCard though. starting to get an idea how the trash gets over here. I'll get that one next week. Trash radiation to go with trash gravity. You wouldn't think that trash has radiation, but obviously trash radiation. Evening. Here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Looks like that's getting worse. That's a big ant pile. You know, that should have been a sign that there was something wrong with the city. When my dad got stung by bees, we called the city and they said, oh, that's a shame. Hey, here's the number for some exterminators you can try out. This happened while he was walking across the sidewalk. Or walking along the sidewalk. Well, it's the homeowner's responsibility to make sure that blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And it's a familiar theme. So you have a city of Dallas that pretty much come out and said, look, I spooked those guys. They thought I was like Lemire or something. I'm like, dude, I'm here getting pictures of something else. Corona, huh? Not a big fan of that beer. I mean, basically it's just Mexican Coors Light. A little light and watery for my taste. Who makes the best beer in your opinion? I don't get to try many Mexican beers. All I know is the ones that I have tried, the Modelo was pretty good. Back when I used to drink. I like their dark Negro Modelo. So. That's what those teeth are for. Well, the lid's still on there. Can't even blow my nose. Junk car? Maybe. Cuts both ways, so like I'm gonna finish this off and then I'm gonna go dump the trash in that commercial dumpster. And like I said, there's no real law here. So if you want to run this area, you can run this area if you're pretty savvy. Northwest Dallas is open for business. Big chunks of the sidewalk that somehow wound up there. Looks like they got worse. And yeah, I did report that. They didn't do anything about it. So, because Northwest Dallas is open for business, you can do that yourself. I almost think that you could probably get rid of whoever you wanted to get rid of around here. I don't get the feeling that they would get punished. In fact, I think people disappear here all the time. I guess if I had the time, I could look up the crime stats. Retaining wall is getting ready to come down. On this walk, I'm starting to realize I don't have the passion and time that Alex has. If you had the time. If I had the time, I wouldn't be doing this right now. What I would have done was when he called me, and said he couldn't get into that meeting, I would have told him, hey, what time's the meeting? He would have told me blah blah blah. It's like, and I'm gonna sell it. Like I said, I should have said that next time this stuff happened. Well, if I had the time. All I could think was, I got an hour to do this. Let me hurry up and get him situated. But if I had the time, what I would have done was I said, you know what? Just sit back. I'm gonna come over there with my Chromebook and we're gonna watch this together. But being on a tight schedule, because I gotta go back to work this week, and what little time I have, I use it here to do what little I can. You know what? Leave it. Fuck it. Leave it. If I had time. If I had time, the backlog of, I got folders full of pictures of stuff that I never report in because I just don't have the time to put the report together. If I had the time, my folder would be empty right now. Here it comes.
Sir.
Hey.
Who's that?
Hey.
Who's that?
Oh, cleaning up. Yeah. So. That's the other thing. If I had the time, I would become fluent in Spanish. Although I don't think Spanish is going to help me in this situation. I think this goes beyond the Spanish language. I think it's the universal language of borracho, but I can't be sure. Holy sheep shit! Yeah. They got rid of the fence, man.
That's nasty.
That's crazy. Man, look at that. Wow. This is not a small advance, man, but this is not miraculous either. I'm about to get hit. Nope. What's the word I'm looking? What's the term I'm looking for? Esto siempre alto? No, algo. Or that's anything. What's the word for something? I can't remember. It's always something. Yeah, he's drunk. I can't smell it on him because I didn't take a deep breath. He's in an altered mental status. I cannot communicate. I'm not in the world he's in. How do you speak to a dream? Must be late. It's almost 2200 hours. Where is everybody? So did they send him to kind of like scare me off? Maybe. Maybe he sees the camera. You weren't even trying to look for me, man. just went right through that stop sign. He didn't care. Fuck it. Stop signs are for pussies. Did you know that? Call that in and say what? I mean, it is public intoxication, don't get me wrong, but let me tell you how this is gonna go. I call it in and I say, hey, there's a guy walking around here kind of staggering, talking crazy to people. Well, sir, does he look like he's threatening in any way? Well, no, ma'am, I can't really say that he looks like he's threatening, but I just thought that you guys ought to know. Okay, well, we'll send somebody out. 2 hours will pass, he'll be long gone from the location. The cops will kind of roll through here because they got to anyway for their patrol, and they'll say, we didn't see anything. If you see something, say something, really only works on rookies. The hard and cynical people, or you know, we won't do it. What's supposed to happen, I call up, 15 minutes later they come out, they happen to see the guy around. They take him somewhere where he can't harm himself and possibly others. But the problem is you multiply that by 1,000. I don't know where he's going to wind up, but the best thing I can say is at least he's not behind a motor vehicle. And yes, he doesn't seem like he's dangerous. There's so much going wrong that you basically have to do it's called the priority of triage. I don't know why I know this, but it's how much level, or it's the level of immediacy when it comes to care for different types of trauma. Guys going into shock, yeah, that's one level. Guys bleeding out, that's another. There's a lot going on here. I'm like, there's a lot going on here. Nobody's camping out in the library anymore. Going on here. All right. Cool. Oh man. You know what I wish though, while they're sitting there putting all those rocks around, that they would fill in that one portion that always gets dug out. What are you thinking? Well, the weird thing is, I'm starting to wonder if this has something to do with So a few people that put a ticket in on that, saying that they needed to fill that in for a long time because that's a problem. And I'm wondering if they're acting on that. I don't know. All I know is the guy's shoveling in pea gravel. And then over here, I think that light was messed up, so they're fixing that. All right. Oh no, that's the good stuff. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Huh. No, if it was pea gravel, it'd be, you know, the sound of it clacking. That's about the size of all my devices are losing power. Somebody's windshield wiper. Fucker was looking just one way. That's new. See the sign over there says Atlantic. So I guess that's the new airline. Are they going to take over? I mean, I'm laughing, but that might happen. Southwest might be on its way out the door. the broom will work on this. I think I need a more heavy-duty broom. Nope, this will do just fine. It's gonna take a while, but it'll do. I just got tired of walking in that. Last week I was like, what the hell's going on? Oh, that's 5 more pounds of dirt. Wow. It ain't got to be spick and span, but it's got to be better than what it was. Man, I mean, that tells you just how dirty a street is. And look at all of that. Huh? Another pair of gloves? No. He was asking so he can help me out. I was like, I appreciate that, but no, fella, I usually do carry 2 pair, but I just didn't this time. Sorry. Appreciate the sentiment, though. All right. That's what I'd like to think. That ain't how the world works, though. I got time. That's better than it was. admit it, you kind of dig this. Like I said, man, it's just a chance for me to see what's going on. Oh, that's that same lady from earlier.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
All right. Now I'm trying to fill this up as much as I can before I turn it in. All right. There's a guy over there with a dog. Something's going on here. Power clean. No, I don't do those anymore. I miss them. They do come in handy. All right. Well, since my light's acting up on me, and I don't have another. Maybe I don't have another. Nope, I don't have my backup whatchamacallit with me. charge that up later. I don't think I have enough. I might. Yeah, it won't go around twice, but it will go around once. We'll go with the bright one. We don't have that far to go, and well, that'll flop around, and this is so slapdash. But it will get me home. You know, I do have electrical tape, right? Where did I keep my electrical tape? There it is. Tear it off. Gotta be able to do repairs on the fly in the city. That's weird. Man, you find the most random stuff. Oh, right, I got to... You know what makes this harder, like I said, is it never gives up around here. There's always some fucking wind around here. It's Dallas's past. They're expressing what little anger it has left over how the... like this was all the plains at one point. The windy plains. There we go. lid's still hanging on. All right, cool. And stuff like that's 20 minutes. Oh, it seems like my light's going everywhere but where it should be going. Why is it up on all up in my face? What that tells me is my tits keep flopping around and they flop up. It's like men don't have tits. I was like, men who eat Haagen-Dazs do. Men who eat Kit Kat bars have tits. Men who just can't say no. I'm about to eat a whole tray of fried fish. Those men have tits. And so I guess I'll always have my big tits bouncing up into my face. But yeah, this thing goes out everywhere. It's like it's not focused on just going forward. It's going up and down and all around. So I guess there's a dude in a Mustang circling around here trying to get somebody to pay attention to him. And I, honest to God, don't care. Maybe it's a couple of guys. They're having a race or something. I guess so. I always thought that the race was a drag strip. I didn't know it was a circuit. The Copa del Dumbass. Copa del Pendejo. Well, at least I don't have the broken glass around here anymore. That's not an advertisement as to how great Taaka vodka is. It's an advertisement of how cheap that shit is. It's everywhere here. You're just trying to get drunk. You don't care how it tastes. You don't care the quality. You don't care if it makes you go blind. Just get it in me and make me numb. That's what Taaka liquor is, man. That is like... that's some Russian with 1,000 dirty bathtubs. Trying to cut every corner he can. Hell, it might not even be a Russian. It might be a Finnish guy. You shared a room with a Russian guy and just got the gist of how to make vodka, and now we have Taaka. Probably somebody get out there and they're talking about, oh man, how dare you talk bad about Taaka, man? No, they're a good brand. It's just cheap. Maybe the funny thing is if I wind up filling this thing again, just going down to the house. How long did you want this to be? I always want it to take me an hour, but it would take me an hour if I didn't pick up anything. I don't want to double what I'm doing, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm just laughing because it all started with this. I don't even know what that thing does. All I know is I went over and I saw the plate was missing off of it. And I said, hey, what's going on there? Next thing you know, they put a generator in there and they were running that for months. This is a whole nother city after 10 o'clock. Lot to absorb, huh? My dad knew this guy. So I'm gonna hook him out. Might not be the same guy though. Color is this? Because I think I got my taggers. They wouldn't be that stupid, would they? Black. No, like I said, the world's not that neat. Only when your TV drama says it's like, hey, I found this. Really think they're wireless access points? Now part of me thinks that it might be surveillance too. Apparently somebody wants to take a deep look at this place. Now you as a citizen are like, hey, I have a right to know what information they're recording over here. Which I can understand. But the nihilist in me doesn't really care. Alright. Just my luck, some dude. And like I said, I don't think it's coincidence they come by when they come by. I think somebody sees me stopped over here doing this and they're like, hey, this is an opportunity for me to find out what's going on. And all I can tell you is nothing. Just a dude sweeping up because apparently he thought this was a good place to break off your beer bottle. Yeah, I probably couldn't do this in that West Dallas neighborhood. But see, my parents, they moved away from places like that because they knew that they couldn't raise children there. That's what motivates a lot of people to leave an area too. With me, I'm a single guy. You hear me talking about the nihilist stuff. It would be different, I guess, if I had other people that really did depend on me. I'd leave Dallas in a heartbeat. This is not a place I would want to raise my kids. So I guess if that's a question that you have, no, don't. If you got kids and a family, don't come here. Dallas is not a family-friendly city. You don't have to take my word for it. Like I said, I was walking here just now. You saw all the stuff. That's why I say not safe for kids when you're watching my channel. You don't want your kids to see this.